What's up, moviegoers? Welcome to the Markio Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony. In this episode of the Markio Podcast, I'm talking about Halloween 2, the 2009 sequel to the Rob Zombie remake, Halloween, which came out in 2007. And now Halloween 2 follows Laurie Strode as she deals with the aftermath of the events of the previous movie. Now, Dr. Loomis is trying to capitalize on those events by publishing a new book that chronicles everything that happened at Michael Myers as he continues to search for Laurie so he can reunite with his sister. Malcolm McDowell, Tyler Mane, Brad Dourif, Danielle Harris, and Scout Taylor Compton all return for this sequel. It's written and directed by Rob Zombie once again. The movie was released August 28, 2009, has a running time of 105 minutes. The budget was $15 million, and it grossed $39.4 million at the box office. This movie wasn't well received at the box office as the remake was. The interesting thing about this movie is that Rob Zombie decided to focus more on the connection between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers and the idea that they share similar psychological problems. The interesting thing is that that concept was kind of done in Halloween 5, where Jamie Lloyd and Michael Myers had a telepathic kind of, being with one another. And I guess that's what Rob Zombie was trying to go with. So Rob Zombie wanted the sequel to be more realistic and violent than the 2007 movie, and he wanted the events of the film to portray how different characters reacted to the events of that movie. Now, here's the thing. This sequel was just bad. How in the hell do you kill off Michael Myers in the first movie with a gunshot and bring him back in this movie, but then have him only wearing half of a mask? Okay, I get it. Tyler Mane is a very, very underrated actor and portrayed Michael Myers fantastically in these movies. But it didn't work with this one. Of course, Tyler Mane is a very tall actor and he really pulls this off like crazy. But the whole psyche and the whole mind of how things are done, and what the hell is up with the white horse and the white woman, the woman in white? Like, what? That threw everything off for me so much. This movie was basically a Rob Zombie movie, and a Rob Zombie Halloween sequel. Had no connection to the 1981 sequel, Halloween 2. And this movie should have had a different title, like Halloween Revenge, or Halloween something, or Halloween Returns. Jesus, if you called it Halloween Returns, it probably would have made more money and made more sense. Because I didn't like this movie at all. I only watched it once, and I've only seen it once, and I don't plan on watching it again. Because it's just a bad entry. This movie is categorized as the 10th installment, and it's considered a slasher film. This movie is more so a psychological thriller than it is a horror or slasher film. I commend Rob Zombie a lot for trying to create a sequel that's different and not original, and stand on its own to the 2007 remake or reimagining, quote unquote. But this movie didn't work at all, and it should have worked, but it didn't work. Now, after this movie was completed and finished and, grossed a certain amount at the box office, Rob Zombie was actually supposed to come back for another movie called Halloween 3D in 2012. So I guess the movie studio and the producers wanted to capitalize on the resurfacing of the 1980s 3D craze and the 2010 craze of 3D movies. Basically, evidently, the Halloween 3D movie was supposed to be a found footage movie featuring Michael Myers going on a killing spree with Tyler Mane returning. I'm pretty sure that would have worked in different ways, but I don't think it would have. So what happened? Rob Zombie declined to return to film another sequel after seeing how bad this box office was and how negative of reviews he got for this movie. Listen, Rob Zombie, stick to what you do. House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, those movies are great. They're fantastic. They stand on their own. But when you made Halloween, you tried. You tried an origin story that was different, and then you added that ending where we think Michael Myers is dead, but he's not. And then you add and you make this movie. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. I actually didn't see this movie in theaters. I actually waited for it because I had no desire to see it. Because how are you making a 10th installment in a franchise, but calling it Halloween 2? Yeah, think about that one for a second. I don't know. I don't know at all. It's like too many Halloween 2s out there and too many Halloween's numbers out there. If this movie should have not been made, and it was an unnecessary sequel to the 2007 remake, like Halloween Resurrection was an unnecessary sequel to Halloween H2O. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie version. And do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? And were you confused about how things were going on? Because there are a lot of plot holes in this and things that make absolutely no sense at all. And would you have liked to see Rob Zombie come back for a third time, directing Halloween 3D, which would have been a found footage movie featuring Michael Myers? Let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked. And be sure you tune into the next episode of the Markio Podcast, where I talk about Halloween, the 2018 version. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new videos and new podcast episodes on the Markio Productions YouTube page. And follow Markio Productions on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And follow me, Anthony, your host, on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Filmstock. And follow the Markio Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'll leave a link to all the social media accounts in the description box below. You can check it out and follow along. All right, everyone, that does it for today's episode. I'm your host, Anthony. Thanks for tuning in.